Listen, you don't become mentally strong by accident. No one wakes up one morning with courage, clarity, and steel nerves. You either build it or the world will break you. Every woman, every man watching this, you need to understand, life will not slow down for your fears. Either you master your mind or your mind will master you. And darling, the world doesn't care about your excuses. It only respects your strength. So today, we're not here to pretend. We're here to build. Brick by brick, thought by thought. A mind so powerful, no rejection, no failure, no heartbreak can shatter it. Are you ready to rise? Control your reactions, or you will be controlled forever. This is not just a line, it is a life truth that separates those who lead from those who follow, those who rise from those who break. Life is not about what happens to you. It is about what you do with what happens to you. Imagine standing in the middle of a storm. The wind is howling, the rain is slapping your face, the world is screaming. You have two choices. You can scream back in fear, or you can stand there, calm, still, untouched. This is the power of control. When you learn to hold your reaction, you hold your power. Because the world will never stop testing you. People will provoke you. Some will insult you because they are threatened by your confidence. Some will lie about you because they cannot handle your truth. And some will try to make you small because your light is too bright for their weak eyes. But here's the secret. No one can control you unless you let them. Their words only enter your world if you open the door. Their negativity only poisons you if you swallow it. Take an example from everyday life. You're at work. Your colleague passes a sarcastic comment trying to humiliate you in front of everyone. Your first instinct? Snap back. Prove a point. But pause. Think. If you react, they win. They've stolen your peace. But if you smile, stay quiet, keep your grace, you win. Because the real power is not proving people wrong. It's showing them you don't even care to react. Silence is power. And the strongest person in the room is the one who can sit in fire and not burn. Think about your family. Maybe your relatives mock your dreams. They say you can't start that business. You can't make that career switch. You can't succeed. Your ego screams to shout, to prove them wrong right there. But you don't. You stay quiet. You let your success speak later. Why? Because when you stop reacting to small minds, your energy rises for big vision. A mentally strong person is too busy building empires to answer to villages or relationships. Someone ignores your message, takes you for granted, leaves your words unseen. What happens? Your mind wants to chase, to beg, to fight for attention. But you don't. You don't double text. You don't lower your worth. Because you know your value is not defined by someone's attention span. And in that moment of self-control, you win. You train your mind to seek dignity, not desperation. Even on the road, some stranger cuts you off in traffic. Your blood boils, you want to honk, curse, rage, but you don't. Why? Because 1 second of anger can ruin your whole day, and you refuse to give one careless driver that much power. You breathe, you stay calm, you arrive home with peace in your heart instead of poison. In life, someone will always test your patience. A rude customer, an unfair boss, a selfish friend, a betraying partner. But every time you react with anger, with frustration, with weakness, you hand over your strength to them. And every time you hold back, breathe, stay calm, you grow, you rise, you become untouchable. That's the secret they never taught us in school. That real mental strength is not loud. It is silent. It is not about fighting every battle. It is about walking past battles that are too small for your time. You think of your dreams, your goals, your future. You know you can't waste energy on people who live to distract you. You can't afford to be drained by opinions that don't matter. You want to build a life of greatness? Then your reactions must be priceless, rare, precious, not for sale to anyone who pushes your buttons. Remember, every time you react emotionally, they win. They get your peace, they get your focus, they get the power. But when you stay still, when you smile in the storm, when you walk away without explaining, you become the master. You set the rules. Because you don't dance to their tune. You make your own music. This is mental strength. This is control. This is real freedom. Confidence is not something you are born with. It's not written in your DNA or hidden in your horoscope. It is not a gift the universe throws at a lucky few. Confidence is a skill that is built, shaped, tested and sharpened every single day. Like learning to swim, drive or speak a new language. You were not born knowing how to do any of these, but you tried, you stumbled, you got up, you tried again. That is exactly how confidence works. You build it not when life is easy, but when life is uncomfortable. Think of the first time you spoke in public. Your heart was racing, your palms were sweating, your voice shaking. You felt like running away. But you didn't. You stood there, stumbled through your words, maybe even forgot a line or two. And when it was over, you realized you didn't die. The room didn't explode. People listened. And the next time you spoke, it was easier. Your voice a little stronger. Your eyes a little higher. This is how confidence is built. By doing the hard thing while being scared. Or remember your first job interview. You walked into that room with your heart pounding so loud, it echoed in your ears. You weren't sure of yourself. You doubted every answer in your head. But you sat there. You spoke. Maybe you stuttered. Maybe you forgot something. But you survived. And from that day on, you walked into the next interview taller, stronger. Because confidence grew in you from trying. Not from waiting for the perfect moment. Think about relationships. The first time you stood up for yourself. Maybe you told someone no. Maybe you ended a toxic friendship. Maybe you said, I deserve better. Your voice trembled. Your stomach turned. You worried they'd hate you, leave you. But when you finally spoke your truth, you felt free. Proud, a little more alive. And guess what? The next time you said no, it was easier. Less guilt, more power. Confidence was built that day, not gifted. Even in daily life, going to a new gym, walking into a room full of strangers, asking a question no one dares to ask. These are moments that break some people, but build others. Because every time you dare to step into the unknown, your confidence muscle grows. The more you practice discomfort, the more comfortable you become. Until one day, you realize you no longer fear walking into new places. You no longer fear unfamiliar faces. You no longer fear speaking your mind. Why? Because you've practiced being uncomfortable so many times that fear has no power left. Think of that friend who always seemed so confident, so bold, so sure of herself. You think she was born like that? No. She just failed more, spoke up more, got rejected more. She fell on her face more times than you can imagine. But every time she got up, her confidence doubled. Until failure didn't scare her anymore. Until rejection felt like dust on her shoulder. This is the truth they don't tell you. Confidence is born in failure, in mistakes, in rejections. Even the way you dress shows this. The first time you wore something bold, maybe a bright color, a new style, you felt awkward. You thought everyone was staring, judging, but you wore it anyway. And no one died. The world didn't stop. You smiled. The next time, it felt natural, effortless. Confidence built itself while you were busy feeling unsure. It's always like this. Like the first time you rode a bicycle, you wobbled, you fell, you scraped your knee, but you got up, and after 10 falls, you rode like the wind. Because confidence is earned, not given. Think about standing up to injustice. The first time you challenged a rude boss, a lying partner, an unfair friend, you shook, you sweated, but you stood tall. You spoke up, and in that moment, you realized you didn't die from being brave. You survived, you thrived, and your confidence rose higher than before. Cutting off energy drainers is not selfish. It is survival. It is self-respect. It is choosing peace over chaos, clarity over confusion, growth over destruction. You don't owe anyone your energy if they only drain you. You don't owe explanations to people who misunderstand your silence. You don't owe apologies for walking away from what kills your spirit. Because every time you allow energy vampires to feed off you, your mind gets weaker, your dreams get smaller, and your light begins to fade. And no dream, no goal, no life of greatness is ever built on empty energy. You must protect your soul like it is sacred. Because it is. Think about that friend who always complains. Every time you meet her, the conversation feels like carrying rocks on your back. Nothing is ever good enough. Every sentence is soaked in negativity, gossip, fear. She drains your joy. You leave her presence feeling tired, frustrated, anxious, as if the sun just disappeared. But you stay quiet. You smile. You listen. Why? Because you were taught to be nice, to be polite. But what about you? Who refills your soul after she drains it? No one. This is why you must choose your peace or her approval. You cannot have both. And when you finally walk away without explaining, without guilt, you feel it. Freedom. Like breathing fresh air after choking for years. Remember that relationship. The one where you gave and gave and gave, and they only took your time, your energy, your kindness, but gave nothing back but doubt, pain, and confusion. Every time you waited for a reply, a call, a message, your soul shrank. Every time they lied and you forgave, they broke you a little more. And the day you finally blocked them, deleted the chats, cut the tie without apology, you felt alive, lighter, whole. Because you finally understood love does not drain. True connection does not deplete. Real care does not exhaust. Think about your workplace, the colleague who always dumps their work on you, the boss who never appreciates your extra hours, the team member who manipulates you into covering for their laziness. You kept saying yes. You kept bending, breaking, staying late, helping out. And what did you get? More stress, more resentment, less time for your dreams. But the day you said no more, without apology, the day you refused to stay late for someone else's mistake, you reclaimed your power. And suddenly they respected you more. Because even energy drainers know when they can't feed off you anymore. Even in your family, there may be people who use guilt as a weapon. The relative who calls only to complain, the cousin who mocks your choices, the elder who belittles your dreams because they fear your success. You tolerated it out of respect, out of culture, out of fear. But inside, you died a little every time you listened to their poison. Until you stopped picking up their calls. Until you ended the visits that crushed your spirit. Until you learned that family does not give anyone the right to damage your peace. And you smiled, not with guilt, but with relief. Because no one deserves access to your soul without value in return. Even strangers can drain you. The random online troll who writes nasty comments, the jealous acquaintance who throws shade on your success, the casual friend who only calls to gossip. Every minute you spend answering them, defending yourself, explaining your worth, is a minute wasted, a minute lost forever. But the day you ignore, the day you delete, the day you do not respond, you win. You save your time, your energy, your focus, because not every voice deserves a reply. Not every person deserves space in your sacred mind. And worst of all, the voice inside you, the inner critic that says you're not enough, you'll fail, you can't do it. This voice is the biggest energy drainer of all. It feeds on your fears, on your doubts, on your insecurities. But the moment you silence it, the moment you replace it with, I am enough, I am strong, I am unstoppable, the energy shifts, the chains break, the darkness dies, and your light shines so bright, the world can't ignore it. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is a signal, a messenger, a whisper from life itself asking you, will you freeze or will you explore? Most people freeze. They run, they avoid, They back away from the unknown, as if darkness will swallow them whole. But the ones who rise, the ones who grow, succeed and shine, they replace fear with curiosity. They ask, what's on the other side of this fear? What could I learn? What if this is not a wall but a door? And when you shift your mind from panic to wonder, the world opens like a book with pages you've never read before. Think about the time you wanted to start something new, a business, a blog, a side hustle. The first thought that hit your mind, what if I fail? What if no one reads? What if I waste time and money and energy? Fear screaming loud like thunder. And most people, they listen. They stop. They stay safe. But the curious mind thinks differently. It says, what will I discover about myself if I try? What skills will I gain? What people will I meet? What doors could open that I can't even see right now? And suddenly fear melts, excitement rises. The unknown becomes an adventure, not a prison. Remember the first time you walked into a gym or a new class? Everyone looked fitter, stronger, better. Your fear told you, they'll judge me, they'll laugh, I'll look stupid. But curiosity asks, what new strength will my body learn? What new moves can I master? What will happen if I push just one more day? And that curiosity breaks fear into pieces. You walk in, you sweat, you struggle, but you grow, you transform. And soon you realize no one was judging you. They were too busy fighting their own battles. Think about love, the first message you wanted to send, the first call, the first move. Your fear screamed, what if they reject me? What if I'm not good enough? What if I get hurt? But curiosity whispered, what if they say yes? What if this is the start of something beautiful? What if this connection changes everything? And when you listen to curiosity instead of fear, you risked, you reached out, you loved. Maybe you won, maybe you lost, but either way, you lived, you learned, you felt, and that's what matters. Even daily conversations are shaped by this battle. Speaking up in meetings, sharing your idea, asking a question. Fear tells you, stay silent, don't embarrass yourself. They'll think you're stupid. But curiosity says, what could happen if I speak? What if my idea solves a problem? What if my question unlocks a new way? And when you speak, you feel the shift. Confidence grows. People listen. You matter. Traveling to a new place, taking a new route. Fear always says, stay where it's safe. Don't go there. Don't risk getting lost. But curiosity says, what hidden cafe will I find? What story will this new city tell me? What stranger will become a friend? And when you go, you find beauty where you never expected. You taste new food. You hear new songs. You see life with fresh eyes. And you realize fear would have kept you blind. Even in failure, curiosity changes everything. You try something, you fall, you mess up. Fear says, see, you're useless, you'll never make it. But curiosity says, why did I fall? What can I fix? How can I try better? And this question brings growth, wisdom, strength. Until one day, you stop fearing failure. You welcome it. Because every fall becomes a lesson. Every mistake a teacher. Every no, a new door waiting for your knock. And in relationships too, fear says, don't trust, don't love, don't open up, you'll get hurt again. But curiosity asks, what new joy could I discover? What new part of myself will come alive in this connection? What depth of feeling have I never touched before? And when you stay curious, love becomes magic. Not perfect, not painless, but beautiful beyond fear's limits. Motivation is loud, it's exciting. It burns like fire when you watch that inspiring video or hear that perfect speech. But the truth is, motivation fades. It dies the moment life punches you in the face. When you wake up tired. When the alarm clock rings at 5 a.m. and your body screams to stay in bed. When your heart says, I don't feel like it today. Motivation is a mood, a feeling. It comes and goes. But discipline is forever. Discipline is silent. It's boring. It's not glamorous. But it is what builds empires when no one is watching. Think about the person who gets up every day to go running. Not because they feel like it, but because they said they would. Rain or shine, hot or cold, lazy or excited. It doesn't matter. Discipline drags them out of bed and onto the street. And when the world sees their fitness, their glow, their strength, they call them lucky or gifted. But the truth is, it's not luck. It's discipline. Showing up when motivation was dead. Or think about students who become doctors, lawyers, CEOs. Not because they felt motivated every day to study, but because they sat at their desks while their friends partied. Because they opened books when Netflix called. Because they chose library over comfort. Not because it felt good, but because they promised themselves success. Motivation whispers, today you can rest. Discipline shouts, you said you would finish. So finish. Even in business, the successful entrepreneur is not the one with the most passion. It's the one with the most discipline. The one who stays late when the work is hard. Who makes calls when rejection hurts. Who sends the emails, writes the plans, fixes the problems. Even when there's no applause, no praise, no spotlight. Because they understand, motivation starts the race, discipline finishes it. Look at relationships. You don't stay faithful, kind, understanding because you feel like it every day. Some days your partner annoys you. Some days you want to quit. Some days love feels like work. But discipline keeps you loyal. Discipline keeps you gentle. Discipline makes you stay and fix what's broken instead of running when it's hard. Motivation writes love poems. Discipline builds marriages. Even simple daily life proves this. Drinking water instead of soda. Waking up early instead of snoozing. Eating healthy instead of junk. Going to the gym when the couch calls your name. These are not battles of motivation. These are wars of discipline. And every small win shapes the body, the mind, the life. No one sees it, but they see the results. And they call you lucky, but you know the truth? It was discipline all along. Look at artists, writers, singers, painters. Do you think they create masterpieces only when inspired? No. They show up to the studio on the days they hate their work. They pick up the pen when the words feel ugly. They sing the song when their voice cracks. They paint when the canvas looks wrong. Because discipline does the job motivation refuses to do. And that's why they finish what others only dream about. Think of the strongest minds, the monks, the soldiers, the great leaders. They are not great because they were motivated forever. They are great because they trained their minds like steel. Discipline made them wake, train, suffer, endure. Long after comfort begged them to quit. Their secret is simple. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is eternal. And remember the days you didn't feel like trying. The mornings you wanted to skip. The moments you wanted to give up. But you didn't. You showed up. You did the work. And those days, those ugly, tired, boring, unmotivated days built your future far more than the days you felt good. Because success is not built on feelings. It's built on discipline, on choices repeated until they become strength. Your mind can be the most powerful tool you own or the cruelest prison you live in. It decides everything before life even happens to you. It's not the world outside that breaks you. It's the voice inside. You can have all the beauty, talent, opportunity, and yet if your mind whispers, "You're not enough, you can't do this, you will fail," then you are already defeated before you begin. But the same mind with different words can turn the darkest night into the brightest morning. When the mind says you are strong enough, you've survived before, you can conquer this, the impossible starts to crumble. It is not the situation that breaks you, it is the story your mind tells you about it. Remember the day you faced rejection. Maybe you didn't get the job, the promotion, the invitation you hoped for. Your mind could have told you, "See, you're worthless. They don't want you. You'll never win." And maybe you believed it and felt small, broken, finished. But if your mind had said instead, "This is redirection, not rejection. Something better is coming. This is a lesson, not a punishment," your heart would have stayed strong, your confidence alive. Same rejection, two completely different realities, created not by life but by the mind. Think of fear, walking into a room full of strangers, standing on a stage, taking a risk. Your heart races, your hands sweat, and your mind starts its game. They'll laugh, you'll mess up, you're not ready. And the moment you believe this, fear wins. But what if you change the story? They will listen. They want to hear you. You've prepared for this moment. And suddenly your shoulders rise. Your breath steadies. Your eyes meet the crowd. It's not the room that changed. It's the mind, the silent whisper that creates courage or cowardice. Even in love, your mind shapes everything. You meet someone, they don't reply fast enough, they act cold one day, and the mind races. They're losing interest, you're not good enough, it's happening again, and you spiral. Jealousy, panic, sadness, all because of a story the mind invented. But if you stop and ask, maybe they're busy, maybe they have a bad day, maybe this is nothing, then peace returns. Patience breathes, trust grows, and the relationship survives because the mind allowed it to. Your body too answers to the mind. A small illness can feel like death if the mind says, it's serious, you'll never heal. And health can rise faster when the mind says, this will pass, I'm strong, my body knows what to do. Science proves it. The mind influences recovery, pain, strength. Athletes win not because their bodies are perfect, but because their minds refuse to accept defeat. And the mind says, it's okay. The mind influences recovery. But because their minds refuse to accept, their minds endure when muscles cry for mercy. Their minds win the race before the feet do. Even dreams are prisoners of the mind. You want to start a business, move to a new city, change your life. But the mind wants, too risky, too late, too hard, stay safe. And so dreams die. Not in the world, but inside your mind, before they even breathe. But when the mind dares to say, why not me? Why not now? Why not try? The doors of life unlock. Fear breaks, and the world becomes possible again. Not because it changed, but because your mind did. Look at people who never seem broken by life. They suffer too, they lose too, but their minds refuse to accept defeat. Their thoughts build ladders where others see walls. Their minds find light where others see dark. Their power is not money or luck. It is the story they feed their own minds. The secret garden they protect from weeds of doubt. The private universe where they decide, I will rise. I will grow. I will not surrender. And you have the same choice every day. Every morning when you wake up, your mind whispers its first story. Today will be hard, or today is a gift. And not ready, or I'm unstoppable. And that quiet sentence decides everything that follows, not the weather, not luck. But the mind, you see, life is not waiting to hand you miracles. Life is watching to see if you dare to claim them. The world belongs to those who stop waiting for permission and start creating their own doors. Your mind, your energy, your discipline, your curiosity, these are not decorations, they are weapons, tools, powers that shape reality. And the sad truth is, most people will never realize this. They will live small, safe, caged, trapped in fears that were never real, chained by doubts they planted in their own heads. But not you. You are not here to play small. You are not here to blend in. You are here to break rules, break limits, break the old version of yourself that keeps whispering, stay where it's safe. No one wakes up strong. No one wakes up fearless. No one wakes up confident. They build it brick by brick, thought by thought, word by word, day by day. Even the legends you admire, the greats, the icons, the game changers, They were once afraid. They doubted. They stumbled. But they did not quit. They trained their minds like steel. They chose curiosity over fear. They cut out energy drainers without apology. They built confidence like a muscle. And that is why the world remembers their names while others fade into dust. What about you? Will you feed your fears or your faith? Will you build dreams or excuses? Will you master your mind or let it master you? Because the truth is simple but brutal. The battle is always inside you. The battlefield is not the world, it's your thoughts. Win there and you win everywhere. You want success? Discipline over motivation. You want peace? Cut off what drains you, without guilt, without apology. You want growth? Replace fear with curiosity. You want strength? Understand that confidence is not magic, it's skill, built by small choices repeated every day. You want freedom? Control your mind or it will control you. These are not suggestions, these are laws. Unbreakable, eternal. The people who rise, the ones you watch on stages, in boardrooms, on screens, they follow these laws without fail. That is why they win. That is why they shine. Do not let the noise of the world drown the voice of your greatness. Stop asking for approval. Stop waiting for the right time. Stop feeding the voice that says, you're not enough. You are enough. You are born enough. But life is not a game of luck. It's a war of will. And only the relentless win. The ones who rise again when comfort calls them back to sleep. The ones who smile in the face of fear and say, I'm not done yet. The ones who feel pain and keep pushing. These are the warriors life bows to. These are the souls the universe rewards. The clock is ticking. Every second you hesitate, someone else is chasing their dream, harder than you. Every minute you doubt, someone else is grinding. Every hour you waste, someone else is grinding. Ask yourself, who will win this race? The one who waits or the one who works? The one who fears or the one who fights? The one who breaks or the one who bends but never breaks? You decide. As the great legends have said, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Comfort is the enemy of achievement. And remember this, carve deep into your soul, you are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul. You are the master because no one else is coming. No hero, no savior, no miracle. It's you, only you, your thoughts, your habits, your choices, your mind. So rise, stand tall, step into the arena of life, not as a victim, but as a warrior. Not as the weak, but as the wise. Not as the forgotten, but as the unforgettable. Because the mind that believes, the soul that dares, the spirit that refuses to surrender, this is the most dangerous force in the universe. This is the most dangerous force in the universe. And that force is you.